Well, good to be back here again with another presentation. Today is May 12th, 2023. We are back in the issues room to discuss the things that matter, but the things that matter to Liberia, to the African continent, and the diaspora of Black people. We invite you to this 152nd edition. Thank you for being there with us tonight, as usual. We have a jam-packed conversation. Things continue to happen in Liberia, particularly as we gear up for our national elections come October 2023, which is on the 10th of October. So many things happening. And I can't talk about myself. Neither you can talk about yourself. But we have wonderful panelists here with us tonight. My colleagues, Moses Sandy and Alphonso, and I am Volcano Shelton here at Anchor, welcoming you this evening. Fergie Moyu, Shaggy McAfee, thank you. The conversation tonight going to be a great one, and we hope that you stay there with us. Please, please, please share the link, invite others to join us here tonight. Let's have this conversation. Those of you in Liberia, we say welcome, Africa, and the rest of the world. Gentlemen, we're back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Volcano. Good to see you. Good to see you, Moses.
It's good to be back in the issues room, man. We always miss this room here because it's very therapeutic being in here. So you see our man, Fergie. Welcome, Fergie. Volcano, Alphonso, it's great teaming up with you guys. Yeah, Joseph Conto, everybody coming, man. Great time, great show. Good being here.
Well, gentlemen, we like to go straight into trending news. We don't want to keep the folks salivating for information. Maria Gadel, good evening, welcome to the show. Listen, the trending news. What I have on my end is not a trending news; it's just a point of correction. I continue to see people, and it's surprising. It looks like all of us who know some of the things about Liberia and the history of Liberia, we're not in the country. So people just creating situation and making up their own names and stuff. Now, you and I know that the city of Bartnersville is capital BARDNERSVILLE. My brother, people announcing is BARNESVILLE, Barnesville. A lot of posters, in fact, Joe Barker, they had a celebration and the entire placard and posters and banners.
And it really as banner?
No, as Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the writing is BARNER, right?
No, BARNES.
Oh, Barnesville.
Barnesville
wow.
Instead of
Barnesville. That's what you and I know.
And so I'm concerned that when a group of people come together, you tell me that not one person in the group know better? What type of country is this?
Yeah, exactly.
So forget it. Just to piggyback on what you said, right? Now we have free education at the university level. And you want to tell me nobody can catch that?
Well,
all the educated, quote unquote, educated people in the country, nobody can catch that and correct it.
So I guess part of the way to do it is one person takes the project. This is my project, and they go and sit down. They do it overnight. They bring the banners and posters in the morning. So it's not a group thing, and that's part of our problem. People want to do things on their own and don't, and people believe that they know everything. Go and ask somebody when you write something, man, look at this thing. My sister, look at this thing. They say, okay, there's nothing wrong with doing that. In fact, that's the way it's supposed to be done. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't do that.
Because you see, Bartnersville and Gardnersville, all of those names are synonymous, except for the G.
And the B.
Yeah. And it's sad.
It's sad
to see people in a generation just completely
Yeah, lost,
completely clueless,
lost
Wow.
generation.
clueless as to what the history. And this is why we say that our country has no history. There's no, I mean, the National Archive Center is just a little place, and I don't think anything in the archive.
And it's just a little place.
Yeah, the National Museum is just a
Man,
little.
people will come for you tonight. You're not
I don't
be.
see anything in the National Museum. How can we be a country with nothing to show for it? And
Yeah.
when we say
They
these
say
things,
Prince Johnson. They say
yeah,
Prince Johnson boots in
yeah,
the museum. Oh.
yeah, and the gun he killed Doe with. But
Yeah.
not he was not Doe at the Freeport. He was bragging about shooting Doe in the fort. But the point I'm trying to drive quickly before you guys come in with your segments,
Mhm.
it just bothers me that nobody seems to care. Our historians are going on the eternal bliss. A man like the late Emmanuel Buya, a wealth of history, and we have people before him, but we can't show for it. And sooner or later, people will write our history and write it their way, and they will change
Mhm.
everything. Can you
Wow.
imagine? Bartlesville had
Oh,
its city mayor. I'm coming, Moses.
yeah.
Bartlesville had a functioning government
Hmm.
when it was a municipality during the
Yep.
normal times in Liberia. So it's
Hmm.
like Peaceville.
Yeah.
Peaceville, my birthplace, that has a city hall. Bartlesville had a city hall. All of these places function. So when you change the name like that, then what happened to the grassrooters? Where are they?
Yeah.
How are they pronouncing the name? Is it the pronunciation that they're spelling the name by? Because it's Bardness. It's not Bounce. There's a
No.
difference here.
Yeah. And there's a high school in Bannersville.
There you
You
go.
know that, right?
Yeah.
There's a high school in Bannersville.
The each and every building.
And Bannersville is a city in Monterey County.
But
Okay?
to have
Bannersville
functioning government,
has an estate. And you want to tell me with all these historical landmarks that we're
Mars,
talking
yeah.
about, right?
Hmm.
And we still can't get it right?
Yeah.
It's shameful, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's shameful.
And for
Yes.
Kano to talk about history, because you talk about history, and it's true, our history is dying, it's going away. People who know the history, they just say by word of mouth, they die and it goes away, and other people just add their own slants to it and stuff like that. One of the reasons that's happening is, you mentioned some of them, the museum, the archives, etc., but also our higher institutions of learning. Nobody can print a single book or anything in Liberia. People who write books they can't print books in Liberia. So people who know the history but don't have access to printing, maybe in Nigeria or Ghana or America, they just can't write the history that they know, and then they die and go, and the history goes with them. When in fact, you have a university of Liberia, you have a printing press. You have the Ministry of Education, they had a printing press there that I know people used to go, including newspapers, to print. I believe all of those have vanished. It's the decay of the society.
Sure, sure. So Moses, what's trending on your end? I just thought
Well,
of this in as a
you
little
know,
uh, uh,
yeah,
conversation sidebar for what we are about to talk about.
yeah,
It just saddens me.
definitely it does. Mine is politics. There's this old saying in Liberia. They say when the Christmas is going to be good, you got to know on the eve, right? So
Yeah.
there's I follow Liberia religiously, you know, because if you're going to be on a talk show, then you got to know what is obtaining in the country. So I had the opportunity of watching the video that was put out there by Mr. Monet Kishen of the Alternative National Congress. And, today, um, the ANC officially kick off its convention in Ganta, Nimba County. And what rather stood out to me was the attendance at the opening ceremony. Volcano, Alphonso, the number of individuals I saw, the little room that I saw. I mean, I just couldn't believe that that number of people would show up. That and someone would say, "Well, this was just the opening ceremony," but it didn't seem impressive at all. And the question I asked myself, but what is happening with the ANC? If you cannot pull a crowd of at least 1,000 at your opening ceremony, then where are you going with the 2023 election? And every time we watch these guys on social media, Arizona comments that, man, he's going to be elected, he's going to be elected. But if you just cannot assemble at least 1,000 person for your opening ceremony, and we're talking about the presidency, Mr. Cummings. Again, someone will say, "Oh well, the guys, they don't want to see Cummings succeed," but it's Mr. Cummings doing self-reflection. Is he really taking the inner look of what is obtaining around him? Because it seems to suggest that the ANC only exists in theory. I'm telling you, I was really disappointed today. That's what happened. And I also heard in the grapevine that Mr. Comey, after going here and there, it seems that he's really struggling, to get a VP pick. So what I'm hearing in the grapevine is that he has finally settled on Charlene Brown, the late Senate Pro Tem, the late political leader of the Liberty Party, as his running mate. And I don't intend to put Charlene down as a young woman, but the question that comes again, Volcano, is can she give or will she be able to pull the number? Because election is about numbers. Is she popular like that in Grand Bassa County? Yes, it is. It is true that her dad was the founding father of the Liberty Party, but this is not about the lit, Senate Pro Tem. It's about Charlene, and it is going to be about Mr. Cummings. The Liberty Party is divided. Do you think she has the capability of pulling that base of votes? That's the question that I kept asking myself. I think Mr. Cummings is really struggling, man. I sympathize with him.
Alfonso,
Yeah, well, let me begin with the numbers. I didn't see that video that Moses referred to. But here's what I want to say, Moses. I mean, it's the party convention, except it was an open forum. I don't know if it was an open forum that anybody or all the partisans could go to. Maybe the reason why the hall wasn't packed is because only delegates, and I'm just surmising here. I don't know anything for sure. But maybe the hall was reserved just for delegates. Maybe that's why only delegates were in there, and therefore the hall wasn't packed. I just wanted to say that. Again, I have no evidence, no facts. I'm just assuming maybe that was the case. I did hear the information as well about Charlene Bromskin being selected, but I heard some conflicting information earlier today that she was on the list, and then there was a little snag in the process where they were trying to reverse course, and then later on somebody said to me, "Oh, they seem to have settled on Charlene Bromskin." I think the strategy there is to say, okay, let's get the Basel vote. Let's split Grand Basser and maybe River Says and other places with Yumbly, because Yumbly seems not to be well. Reports are that Yumbly refused to go with them. I have similar concerns as you do, but I have in addition to that, I don't know her leadership ability. I don't know if she's ready. I mean, the conversation all along has been the vice president must be ready to step in on day one.
Absolutely.
Is she ready to step in on day one? What is her experience? Where has she worked? What has she led? What is her political philosophy? I think these are all legitimate questions that the public should be asking.
Well, Moses, since you brought a whole quick, Joseph Conto is asking whether the issues room is all about criticizing Mr. Cummings. Now, no, this is a serious matter. I don't know where the criticism is coming here. What is being pointed here, Mr. Conto, is that Mr. Cummings, from my perspective, is not surrounded by the right propaganda and media team, and he has failed to increase that potential for himself. Look at the situation right now with him scouting the place for a partnership. All of this work should have been done all along. And here we are. So Moses' observation, I don't think is criticism. It's what the reality is, that if he having a convention or whatever the occasion is, at this time, it should tell you that crowd pooling is critical. Whether it is superficial, whether it is not, his own crowd, but just the fact that the crowd is a part of the message. When you don't have the sizable crowd as the professed second or third person in the race, then it's a problem. So who's not doing the work? That is why he needs to take a look at. Because he's paying people hefty salaries for being in the party, in the leadership of the party, and a lot doesn't seem to be happening. And if you are a political party and an institution and a political candidate, then if you don't want to be criticized, then there's a problem here. Because the same way we can mouth George Weah, the same way we can mouth Boycott, the same way we can mouth any other political candidate, then Cummings is not immune. But I don't think this is about criticizing. I think it's just pointing out some of the things that could help him do well. Moses?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to piggyback quickly. You said it, you did excellent on that, Volcano. And Joseph, like Volcano said, this is not to put Mr. Cummings down, but Mr. Cummings is eyeing the highest office in Liberia. So he's a public figure, and as media people, we take a critical look. Is he ready, in a better position? Will he be able to succeed in his endeavor? Because what we are seeing, it seems to suggest that he has a lot of work. He has a lot of work to do. This is not to put him down. And like my friend said earlier, Alphonso, when you and I hear about political parties meeting for convention, man, you're talking about numbers. You're talking about numbers. Even delegates, you're talking about numbers. But you have, a room that cannot even accommodate 50 persons, and you're talking about a political party that claims to be popular. That's a problem. That's a problem. As an organization that which the three of us belong to, AJA, when we assemble, our number is much bigger than what I saw today, in Ganta, and that should not be happening. You're talking about someone who believes that he has all what it takes. So if he cannot pull at least 1,000, come on, man. We're talking about the presidency. There is no, classroom, a president thing we're talking about. The presidency of a country. Optics matters a lot.
And I think, Moses, the problem here is that it saddens me to say that people never want to really listen to what other people have to say. It's not about what you want. And you're not going to always get what you want. Even with us, right?
Yeah.
People criticize us. People think that we in the boycott camp.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, so help me God, I'm not a member of any political party in Liberia. I'm not a member, and not am I a sympathizer. No one has approached me to become a member of any political party. Neither have I. So there's nowhere here that because I take a stance or on a particular topic, and I'm entitled to. Somebody accused me of being subjective. I'm never objective. Hey man, come on now. What type of country is this? I will always be subjective and never be objective.
Objective.
Yeah. What type of country is this?
Is
You
it?
know, but we're not talking because we just want to criticize or this is not criticism, it's a conversation. And
Yeah.
Moses' observations should be taken seriously. I think more work needs to be done by any political party going against George
Yeah.
Weah. You
Mhm.
understand me? Any political party right now that wants to unseat George Weah, you got a lot of work to do. Because the
Absolutely.
man already started his work. He already started increasing his numbers in his stronghold, whether the public is there or not. The man doing his work. I see the what's it called? David Brown says the biometric is over. I think they're done.
Yeah.
Everything's over. So
In fact,
how many people register? Some of the political institutions in the opposition were crying that many of the partisans and voters did not register. So how is this ending now? What the numbers? And based on the locale, we'll be able to see whether the Southeastern gonna take the thing. But when we have this conversation, people think we're criticizing or we're pointing finger. No, we're just looking at what's trending. That's what it is.
yeah. In fact, Volcano, quickly, Alfonso, now to take your time.
No.
You said something about the NEC, and this is important for us to bring the chair under the microscope. Yesterday, the National Elections Commission issued a press statement and warning all political parties and candidates that have already started pre-campaign activities, including President George Weah. The directive is that all those who have put up banners, billboards, and whatever, I think they have less than 2 weeks to take everything down. If not, the NEC has promised to go after the individuals and the political parties aggressively. Now, gentlemen, the question again that comes: uh, is this something that the NEC is really determined to do? Because it is my understanding that when you look over the entire Monrovia is done with billboards, carrying Mr. Weah and the others. So is Diana what having to be the chair of the NEC? Is she going to go to Mr. Weah and say, hey, Mr. Weah, you need to take these billboards down? That's the question. Or is it that she was just being political? Yeah. And I would like to put that to the both of you.
Well, I don't want to dwell on it right now because we have gone 20 some odd minutes.
Okay.
Just a
Okay.
point, it's just a point to
Yeah.
to to put forth.
Hmm.
We can look at it in the coming days to see whether anything's being done or is it going to be one sided. Because you
Yeah.
know the situation in Liberia, the people will say asset declaration and nobody declares, or one person will
You say
declare.
keep it secret.
The other people. So yeah, so I would not want to delve into that because we have a long way to go tonight. But
Sure.
gentlemen, let's start this conversation. Uh, we did mention that the legal man behind Jefferson Koji, um, Mr. Arthur Johnson,
Mhm.
uh, had a press conference the other day where he asserted that former Justice Gloria M. Scott knows the person who uh, assaulted her daughter, leading to her death. Uh, he said that he spoke in a context. So let's listen to him, and
Yeah.
then we'll come back to discuss uh, what he said.
I said in the last press conference when a question was being asked by one of you that Councillor Gloria Musu Scott knows the president who went and assassinated her daughter and attacked her at her home. And that statement has been taken out of context by the family of Councillor Scott. And they refer to me in the Daily Observer newspaper as engaged in bloody lies. I want to refute that statement that they made against me. I have never lied. All I said is true, And this is what I am trying to show to you. In this press conference at the Liberian National Police, Councillor Gloria Scott was asked the following question in our court. There have been too many speculations in the public about the issue of one valid talent who is alleged to have committed this act. You are the person who physically, that was the question asked to Councillor Scott. You are the person physically. You are the person who physically saw what happened. Can you tell us for the clarity whether indeed you can speak to whether or not Valitale was the one who committed the act? This was the specific question asked to Councillor Gloria Scott. And that's why you see in this video, all of you were the people that recorded this video. This is the answer of Councillor Gloria Musu Scott. To that question, the information, the source of that information will speak to it. That was her answer. She went further. I know for a fact, I'm quoting Councillor Gloria Scott, that there was somebody, blah, 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 blah. Further, quotation open state. I engaged their eyes and I put the pepper spray in his eyes because it was a question between life and death. Encore. This is what Councillor Scott said. It was by the basis of that statement that Councillor Gloria Musu Scott, what she made, that we were able to analyze to say that Councillor Scott knew the person. When we say Councillor Scott knows the person, it does not mean we are saying that Councillor Gloria Scott knew that person before the incident. It's not what the context of my statement is. The context of my statement is the fact that the councillor said, I engaged him physically and I engaged their eyes. I engaged their eyes. Once a person says that I engaged their eyes, it was a life and death situation. You saw the face of the person. From that portion on, anytime you see that person, you will recognize them and you know their face. That was what we were saying. So we see no reason why the family of Gloria Scott saying what I was saying was a diabolical lie. This is the recording. This is the excerpt of what she said. I engaged their eyes. Every lawyer is trained to it. This is a former justice minister. This is the former attorney general. This is the former chief justice as attorney general of the Republic of Liberia. She sat as chairman on the National Security Council. On the Joint Security, She was the chairman, and by the way, is the Minister of Justice, is the chairman of the Joint Security of the Republic of Liberia. So to look in the eyes of somebody and spray in their eyes, any reasonable person will have reason to believe that yes, you know the face of the person. Because of that context that we spoke. Unless she said she doesn't know the person. And so we went further to say, up to now, with all the way she saw and engaged the person eye and spray the pepper spray in their eyes, Valitale question was asked to her directly. She never said that Valitale was a doer. She said that information from the person who gave it, they will speak on that. It means that when that information was given by that person, the councillor brother, it's not her information. It's not her statement. So what they call bloody lie. Did I bloody lie? Did I engage in blood? That's not a lie. She said, well, so on that analysis, when I said that Councillor Scott knows the person who entered, it's because of her testimony. That's my analysis. And a person of a reasonable mind and prudence will know. Further, the reason why you see police officers telling you that they will talk to the person who committed an offense is simple. In a case of murder, when a person who kills somebody If the person stabbed that person 1 or 2 times or 3 times, and then somebody went and confessed, investigator conducted an investigation, and then the person confessed, to prove the validity of that person's testimony, the investigators will do the following. You killed a man? Yes. I'm giving an example now. How you killed a man? With a knife. Where? You took it on the back or the front? You say from the back. They already done their investigation. They know that maybe they start from the stomach, from the front. Then they say, where did you juke the person? If you say from the front, they say, okay, how many times you juke the person? If that man say 1 time, then the investigator will say, we already made confession, he's lying. You know why? In the law of phraseology and criminal investigation, anybody who murders a person and stab them, they remember forever the number of times they stabbed the person and where they stabbed them. It's a science.
That's not true on that part. A killer can be enraged and stab a person 50 times and would not be able to say I stabbed them actually 50 times.
Right.
So
because the person is
so
acting impulsively.
So let's not go there. But gentlemen, this is Arthur Johnson. Arthur Johnson believes he's the Johnny Cochran of our time in Liberia. This guy is controversial. He is the most sought after counselor. He's the top dog. You see the man dressed, the gold and everything. This guy is being paid very hefty. So what do you make of his analysis here with regards to when he said Gloria Scott knew who murdered her daughter because the statement she made, I engaged the person and I saw their eyes and I pepper sprayed them in the eyes. Now, let's say the person has ski marks on with a low hood. Anyway, so maybe the woman saw him. When they saw her eyes, and he doesn't even understand it. What's wrong with this guy? Oh man, they want me to bring my lawyer thing up. Even the person wearing ski mask still have an eye section, right?
Yeah.
Right, gentlemen?
Yeah. The person gotta see. The person walking, they gotta see.
So let's hear from Alphonso. So where are we now?
So as this guy was speaking, that some of our listeners were actually posting messages in there, and I really admire some of what they said. Whether this guy was actually a lawyer, whether he went to law, or he just trying to be deceptive, and that's where I will begin. I question his law credentials. I question his claim that he's some Johnny Cochran in Liberia, because law is based on logic and reasoning, and this man has demonstrated neither of them.
And that is why the police can't count on logical.
Yeah. And that's why they don't have any logic, so they can't come to knowledge. The woman said, they asked the woman a question. They says, Valitale, who killed your daughter? Do you know about it? And the woman said, I don't know anything about it. The person who made the claim should, will come up with whatever evidence they have. How does that mean somehow that this woman knows the person who killed her? In a situation in her home, a terrifying situation, where she took pepper spray and sprayed somebody, does that mean that somehow she knows the person she's ever? We have seen cases all over the world where even the police does line up and still the victim is unable to identify the person who might have done it because they're in a terrified situation. They're not looking to identify people to say the person get marked on his face or this, that, blah, blah, blah. This was a quick situation where she sprayed the person ran out, she herself running. It's not a situation of, say, for example, rape or something where the person is present for a period of time with the. Even at that, people have difficulties in identifying people. So I really don't know where this guy. Either he's just playing so they can pay him the money they're paying him. So he's deceiving the poor people who don't know nothing and paying him the money, or he really knows nothing about law and anything. Now, we don't know whether the police even did a lineup for Gloria Scott to identify people. So where did he draw his conclusion that Gloria Scott has not been able to identify? Has Gloria Scott even been given an opportunity by the police to say, come on, here are the people who were arrested. Do you know the person? Can you identify the person from the lineup? We don't know that has ever happened. So His claims are really bogus. They're without foundation. They lack reasoning. They lack logic, and they're not based on any critical evaluation and analysis.
Moses.
Yeah. Before I even answer this question, uh, Volcano, you said earlier, you said this guy portrayed himself as the Johnny Cochran, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
The
let me
man's the biggest
educate
lawyer,
him today.
the man's the biggest lawyer
Yeah.
on the grounds,
Uh,
man.
it is so shameful, disgraceful. You see the man in a business suit sitting in an office that is so unkempt. Did you look in the bag? All of those binders are client records. They should not be displayed like that. The exposure of the privacy of his clients to anyone walking into that office. And he called himself a legal luminary. Does he not know privacy? Confidentiality? Does he not know that? So I want the counselor to learn tonight that when he goes back to the office on Monday, let him tell his people to try to structure his office appropriately to ensure that all the legal documents for people that he has laying all over the place, those records are fully protected. That's one. Number two, like Alphonso said, it's so shameful. He's a disgrace to the legal profession. The analysis is making just don't hold. Very faulty. Gibberish. When someone is faced with life and death situation, as in the case of the former Chief Justice, the person goes into what we call survival mode. You are in a stressful situation. This is about life or death. First, he does not know whether when this person broke into this lady's house, whether the plate was late or not. He doesn't know that. But he said for the fact that the woman said she sprayed in the direction, she sprayed pepper spray in the person's eye, that's enough to conclude that she can identify the doer. Who does that? When you are faced with crisis, you've act impulsively because it's all about protecting your safety. Volcano, I'm Moses saying it. I'm in my bedroom, someone breaks into my bedroom. I'm afraid for my life. I'm afraid for my wife's life. I will do everything I can to protect our safety. And somebody will come and stand before me. Oh, well, Moses, you know the person who came in. Really?
Yeah.
And this guy claims to be what?
A lawyer.
A lawyer?
Mhm.
What law school did he go to?
Louis Arthur Grant.
I spoke to a lawyer, a very respectful, individual in our community. And he was so appalled. He was so appalled. He watched the video and called me back. He said, Moses, I'm so disappointed. The legal profession in Liberia has taken a downward trend. Johnson is one of those. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. He has just drawn his career into public disrepute. What he said is debatable. He cannot win that. Volcano, let me stop there.
I mean, listen, there's a lot of things here with this investigation that we don't know of. Nothing seemed to be making sense about this whole investigation. And as it is, the unfortunate thing is he goes to one press conference and that's where he takes the information from.
Yeah.
You would think that he would do due diligence by trying to gather all of the information. What were the questions asked this woman? When this man came into your personal space,
Yeah.
was the place laden?
Yeah.
Were you able to probably, since you sprayed them in the eye, was he wearing a ski mask, something covering his entire face, and you could only see his eyes and the mouth area, and that's why you just sprayed in that direction? Or did you see his face? Because even at that, if the place was later, if Valley Tyler is light skinned, you would say the person that sprayed was light skinned. At least you'll be able to see that, say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Or the person that sprayed was very dark in complexion. But we don't know all of these questions, whether they were asked. When the person, after you spray the person, what happened? Did they run away? How many seconds will you estimate that took place? Maybe you should say 10 seconds, 15 seconds, ballpark. Yeah, we can take that because it's just in the person's space and it's
Yeah.
turn around and start to run. You wouldn't be able to capture a lot, like you said, Alfonso, where if it was in a rape case where the woman is looking at the perpetrator in some instances and able to kind of picture that person uh, to say yes, this is the person. So there's a lot of things that have not been asked, and for him to say that in the context of what happened, the woman know the person
Yeah. They
did
know.
it, and because she references the person who gave the source in Jerome Verdier, he knows what's best, so he should be the one you should ask. That's two different things here.
Yeah.
Jerome Verdier got his information and he let it out to the world. You, as Gloria Musu Scott, you have your information. If they ask you the right question, if they corner you to the point where they need all of the information out of you, they can get it. But the people cannot ask questions. The journalists cannot ask questions. The police officers cannot ask questions. The CID man can't ask questions. Who will ask the right question? So oftentimes they mess the whole investigation up before they can even get to do the investigation. That is why oftentimes their investigations don't come to a logical and reasonable conclusion.
Yeah.
And so all of them are pending. And as far as we've come, a lot more should have been, presented to the public by now. But there's a tendency for all of these things to just lay on the back burner and just slowly die. Slowly die. 3 missing boys. Gifty Lama, Abba Peter, Paten Yensua. All of these investigations, we don't have the
No
head,
outcome.
the tail, And so, I mean, that's Liberia. What type of country is this?
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
So, and I believe, if I may come in, guys, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I may come in, I mean, these guys are playing a game of distraction here. What they're trying to do is to distract from their incompetence and failure. What they're trying to do is to distract from the allegations that they are the one who carry on this act. So it's reverse psychology. Let's accuse the victim here. Let's say somebody else did it, and let's just throw mud in the water. Because the police is incompetent, or they just don't want to do an investigation. So the only thing the government of Liberia jumps to when there's a crime is autopsy. An autopsy doesn't say anything about the crime. It says very little. The autopsy simply says what killed the person. It is the police investigation that now will determine how, who did it, where and when. For example, police went on the crime scene that night, according to them. Did they take fingerprints? Did they do anything in the area? They said that when the police director said, we took C's of the place. I don't know what it even mean by we took C's of the place. But anyway, they were in the place. There's no, up to this point, there's no police investigation. Only thing that there is they did an autopsy. An autopsy will not tell us. When you do police science investigation, you find out how maybe the person was stabbed or the cutlass was used, what type of knife or cutlass was used, who sells that knife or cutlass in the country, where it might have come from, fingerprints on the body, on the body of the victim, fingerprints in the house, and all of those things. And maybe people have that thing that Judge Weah said everybody should get, even though people don't have electricity.
Yeah,
get a
TV,
CCTV
CCTV.
camera.
Yeah.
You check the CCTV cameras in the area, etc. But because they are unable or unwilling to do the police science investigation, they just do the guessing game. And as you said, Volcano, that's why nothing comes to a logical conclusion, because logic doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
The other thing I even wanted to point, look at how sometimes they write a report, we arrested the arms. Do you
Yeah,
arrest arms or do you confiscate arms?
yeah, well,
Yeah, you know,
yeah,
because you don't arrest arms, you
Yeah.
confiscate,
Yeah.
means you
Arrest
seize.
arms.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know,
you arrest individuals.
yeah,
You
we
know,
arrested the
yeah.
arms.
No, they arrested they
But,
arrested they,
but look, let
they
me come.
arrested the car and they impounded the driver.
Yeah.
Let me come to the counselor, right? Look, gentlemen, what this man did has the potential.
Someone's like, what type of lawyer is this?
My fool goes to the bank, get PhD in
what
law.
is quote unquote, let me say quote unquote lawyer did
Mm.
has the potential of undermining the ongoing investigation.
Yep.
Because the police has not made any formal pronouncement regarding the outcome of his probe. The Ministry of Justice has not made any formal pronouncement. Now you have a government paid lawyer mounting the podium, addressing reporters in Monrovia. He said, well, look, based on the way the former Chief Justice responded, that suggests to me that she knows the person who killed her daughter, which is indeed a very faulty analysis. Instead of helping this woman to heal, instead of helping the family to heal, that pronouncement from that counselor has further traumatized this family. A grieving family, man. How much money? How much money can pay for that? Councillor Johnson, how much money? Jefferson, could you pay you to do that? How much money did you receive from people in government to further traumatize this family? I mean, this is sad. This is sad, gentlemen.
I mean, the Louis Arthur Graham School of Law is now the dump site.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody in the country goes to law school. I was shocked when I started going back to Liberia. Some of the men who could barely speak English, the men say he got a law degree. I said, "Oh, my man, congratulations,
Yeah. Mhm.
congratulations!
Yeah.
What's going on?" Louis Arthur
True.
Graham School of Law is that somewhere you just walk into?
Yeah,
Everybody walking in our school.
Yeah.
The men already taking the bar test,
No, a good number of them don't. They
or they're
don't.
finding the way in there.
Mhm.
I mean,
yeah.
go ahead.
Once you graduate, you're an attorney at law, and you can
Yeah,
practice.
Antonio,
You
yeah,
can practice before the Supreme Court,
Supreme
or
Court,
you
yeah.
can practice. So some of them just get the degree and they go and practice at the lower courts and stuff like that, and they don't bother to take the
bars.
bar. When you take the bar, then you pass it
Become a
after
counselor,
certain
yeah.
years, then you become a counselor. But
Okay, that's where you can open your law firm, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
But well, an attorney can a law can open a law firm too, and
But you just can't,
but you can't go before
appear
the
before the Supreme Court.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah, but again, the issue is that yes, you're right. The standards have dropped, and they've dropped dramatically, and that is a problem in that country. Standards of education have basically dropped everywhere, and it's sad that it's happening at the law school. In the past, to enter law school with how they call him, those guys were the former chief
Johnny Lewis.
Johnny Lewis, George Henry's, what the lady name who had the school on the Oro? What's her name when she was dean of the law school, etc.
I know it's Luvinia
Yeah,
Ash Thompson.
Lavinia Ash Thompson entered the law school. You're able to.
This guy Joseph Country is
You
on
know,
me.
no, you can't just get anybody to go to the
Yeah.
law school. And the Bar Association also had standards, and I hope they still do, where they can hold their members accountable for things like what Mr. Johnson, I don't even want to say Councilor Johnson,
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson is doing. The bar association can hold its members accountable. They're
Yeah.
supposed to do that, for misconduct, for, these kinds of things. Unfortunately, all of our institutions, our systems are just decayed, and people, they're dying, and people just walking around and just doing their own thing. That man needs to be brought before the ethics committee of the
Yeah.
bar association to answer questions.
I agree. I
Well, as I
agree.
said, the man is the top dog in the country. The man is the most sought after lawyer.
He's the most paid.
So now this guy is
I
getting away.
I guess because he's willing to take any case and to just
Yeah.
do foolishness.
And
So
Alfonso,
uh,
if I can just introduce, do you know that Johnson worked along with Serena Cephas?
oh really?
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Well,
he
so
did
that
work with Serena Cephas when he was Solicitor General,
okay.
and
Yeah.
then later he moved on and set up his own,
So
law firm.
well, so birds of the
You
same
know,
feathers flock
yeah.
together.
And you guys talking about lawyers in Liberia, I'm sure Volcano, you may have come across some of that. Look, there are certain professions that when you decide to go in, two things you need to master. Communication has to be at the tip of your finger. You can go into journalism when you have difficulty differentiating whether the word is or are, then you are in the wrong profession. It's the same thing with the lawyers.
Mhm.
Some of the lawyers, honestly, you sit and talk to them. People who claim to come from the law school in Liberia, you sit and talk to them, they can barely express themselves. I'm not trying to put our colleagues down yet, but I think we need to do a lot of work in the recruitment of lawyers in our country because uh, as a lawyer, you need to be persuasive when you talk to people. You need to be rational. Logic. You struck that point, Alfonso. And this guy came across tonight, unfortunately, as an idiot. No logic in what he was saying. I don't know where he derived that from, but he's an embarrassment to the legal profession. He's indeed an embarrassment.
Mhm. Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes.
Even his English, the man said when a question was being asked.
Well,
What
my
what
man.
does that even mean? A question was when the time a question was being asked. What does that even mean? Then he also said Clara Mususka's daughter was assassinated. What makes it an assassination? Does he even know
Nation.
the meaning of an assassination?
The girl was
The
attacked
girl
by
was
somebody.
murdered. It's not
Yeah.
assassin. An assassination is killing that has to do with political or religious reasons. He
Yeah.
needs to look at his words. Conviction.
Yeah,
So right
man.
away, you can get from the opening of his sentence. You read, I have a problem with what he's
Yeah,
saying.
man. Look, we want to extend an open invitation to the council. Let him come here to the issue room. Let's do some grilling. Help you learn some basic rudiments of English and logic. Uh, we can do that pro bono, right, Volcano?
Yeah.
We can do
The,
it.
the
Yeah.
late Joe Marva said when he was teaching us mass communication, he said, gentlemen, English is the tool of the trade.
Yeah.
For the trade of journalism, English is the tool. It's
It's a
just
tool.
like
Yeah.
as a carpenter, your tool is a hammer, is a saw, is
Communication. Yeah.
whatever. In journalism, English is the tool of the trade. If you
That's
don't
it.
have the tool, don't come here.
No, you're in the wrong profession.
We're not going to give it to you. We just figuring it out of
All right, guys, let's go to intermission. We'd like to
Yeah.
welcome you to our 152nd edition here this evening. We're discussing the issue with Councillor Arthur Johnson, who is representing City Mayor Jefferson Koji regarding the allegation made that Koji was the mastermind behind the death of Gloria Musu Scott's daughter by the name of Charlie Musu, who was murdered by allegedly a man named Vali Teller.
Yeah.
The Councillor Johnson was making claims that Musu Scott knew who the assailant was because she said she pepper sprayed the assailant in the eyes. And again, we wanted to say the eyes could be exposed, but the face could not if the man was wearing a ski mask. So
Absolutely.
a lot of things didn't come through regarding this investigation. We're not sure yet where it's at, the kinds of questions that we have made clean. We'll also be going to the next segment with the Monrovia City Police Director, Thomas Garwo, who just came to America and was talking plenty, like the way he went back. He's trying to seek,
And that will be a more big time.
he's trying to seek sympathy, and he's standing there, Arthur Johnson using him again. So I told you, Arthur Johnson, that man, everybody goes,
I tapped all in the town.
But anyhow, we like to encourage you to share the link, invite others to join us here tonight. We have the segment, What Type of Country Is This? And indeed, we will have some good ones because Arthur Johnson could be the trendsetter for that segment tonight. I'm Volcano Shelton, joined by Moses, Sandy, and Alphonso Yeno. We like to keep you out there informed, and that is why we do what we do. People continue to ask us, is the issues room a partisan issues room? No, not at all. Trust me.
Just that Conto wants to kill me.
We're not propagating for any political party. In fact, we're intending to bring Tiawon Gonglo soon once the arrangements are made. This is the election season now. We're not bringing politicians for free again, right, Moses and Alfonso?
No.
We've done the part. We almost go into campaign. They need to pay for airtime.
Yeah, there are fees associated with appearance. Yeah.
Once we can get all of the modalities settled, we'll be bringing Councilor Gonglo. At least we've brought him here a few times, and this time around, we hope to bring him just to have that conversation where his campaign is. And what work he's doing when he's bringing his Nimi, his VP, since the VP Nimi is a major thing in the country. We're gonna open the line very shortly, and hopefully you want to call and chime in. We'll give you the opportunity to join us here in the conversation. If you can't call, just chime in, text, chat. We'll post your chat. Gentlemen, let's go to the next segment. This segment has to do, as I said, with Thomas Garwo Jr. The young man visited America in the month of April. He came for a church conference, allegedly, and I saying it because it came out of what was trending in the news. He was based in Atlanta, but then he got lured into coming to Philadelphia accordingly by Sheikh Sakor. And Sheikh has been in the news with regards to George Weah and some Russians and money and all of that. And the young man said that he was brought over to this end, and he had the opportunity to meet with Witherspoon Stanton, who was the head of the Spoon Network, Eugene Fagon, who was former Deputy Minister of Information. And he went on to name other people who Fagon spelled that were not there, including the Alex William guy who from alleges.
Councilor Jerome Vardia.
No, he didn't say he met Jerome. He said that
he talked to him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about meeting.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna play a greater portion of this clip, and then we'll come back to discuss the clip. I was trying to get it here, but yeah, Moses, if you wanted to say something, I thought I had it.
No, I was just saying that he did talk to Councilor Jerome Vardia. From what I listened to, you ready?
You mean Congress one? Go ahead.
Yeah, Congress one. Yeah, Councilor Vardia, who goes by the code name Congress one. He did talk to him. Right. He came here.
Ready?
Okay, go ahead.
He gonna say all of that himself.
Yeah. Let him go ahead.
Okay, let me first tell you how I also said go to the great United States. We got a pastoral group called the Paramilitary and the Military Network. And here for this group is called Follow, who went at immigration. They send people to Israel, send people to South Korea, the opportunity came to go to America. Apply for it, we accepted for 17 in number that we accepted. Out of 17 from different security agencies, EPS, the Fire Service, the NIS, the National Police, and that of the Monrovia City Police. We're 14 that was selected to go to the embassy and apply for visa. Out of the 14, I was the only person that obtained visa. So immediately I got my visa, I drove to the Party Airport. The first the day I got my visa, it was on the line. The good tourism were having program at the Chevron Park. And they called me in the evening about 2 o'clock. He was present, I got on the motorbike, up Benzie Street, I got my visa. But then I drove straight to the Party Airport to my boss, and I told him the good news. And he said, the time reaches, I will buy a plane ticket, and I will give you some cash for you to be in the hotel. So I gave him the information. I said, time is not in my favor. The program already started. I put your phone and told the Monrovia City government, gave insurance to King Prince Andrew, that he should cut my plane ticket and give him money for the number of days I'll be staying in. It was not Wednesday when Chef Sako called me. He said, brother, how are you? We started to have a friendly conversation on the phone. We started to bring in about body care, about blood to start, and he was in the press conference about daughter. He started out there and say, you know, educating me, showing my mistakes, and what I said, only some other guy. And I continue our communication on the phone. He said, okay, but I'll give you Congress one number for you to speak with him. So I want to ask him, I said, where's Congress? He said, no, when you finish with the steering, when you reach home or at the point, when you address, then you call him to talk. So I didn't call him. I left the country on the 12th of April, the day of my wife's birthday. And the day I obtained my visa was on the 9th of April. It was the same 9th of April I got suspended. Time indefinite and said back road was on the same 9th of April. And the 9th of April was my anniversary. So I told her, I said, but I didn't know what happened. The 9th of April I got married. The 9th of April I got suspended. They said I black road on the bypass, on the back road, I stopped erosion group for coming out. And they said 9th of April I obtained visa. I think we need to celebrate the 9th of April. So all laughed about it. I left the country on the 12th of my birthday. When I get to the United States, some of you saw all my posts, and then posting at fire school, because I don't want people to know my whereabouts. Then after my conference and training. So when I got through the training, I posted a photo, thank God for a civil conference and training. But I wish that said, Shaka call me. He said, well, you can't remember ever say he refused to call me. So I said, I was busy with the conference and training. He said, okay, but where are you? I said, I'm staying at the hotel. He said, what's the time period in the hotel? I said, right after the conference was on the beach. But I was going to be there from now to the 18th of this month, maybe. So he said, okay, I will send somebody to you at the hotel to pick it up so you can be to that place for you to go around to the place, and after we can have another conversation. I said, okay. So they got drove to the hotel. I recognized the face for MC. And I recognized the face for Henderson. You worked with Henderson before. It's called Soko Sako Gym. Go to the hotel and pick me up in the loop. I was studying assailant hotel and pick me up and came to the house. I spent 2 days in the house. And the 2 days after the house, part of the movement, when you have a conversation on the phone, you always go up and come in. You always go out and come in. I spent 18 years in the LNP. I went through the ring of fire to get back of business training. 4 secreted men are excellent, so nobody can feel my intelligence. So when I was at the movement, I decided to ask him. He said, okay, my wife has sent an invitation to go to another state to take a shower. And I can't leave the one you said, nobody ever put for you too, you don't know your way out. So, Congress will buy your plane ticket. You go to ATL Airport, Atlanta Airport, and fly to Philadelphia. So I said, okay, but how do I leave Philadelphia? Because my trip, I was going to pick up from Atlanta to go to JFK. But JFK to Casablanca and go to Monrovia because we don't have time. School open and do. The time I'm going for, I didn't go and do it like before. So, oh, man, don't worry, man, the thing is talking about that's not important. If you get up Philadelphia, you know the importance of the operation. So I didn't talk. The day reached, we went to the airport. I flew to Philadelphia. When I went to Philadelphia, I arrived at Philadelphia Airport on a Ramadan day. So the number I gave him, I called the number and registered on my WhatsApp, Sheikh Sakor. So I was there, what's happening? So Sheikh came in a guy and picked me up. We drove straight in Philly. There's an area in Philadelphia called Dali. Where they got they bring guys there, one woman who sell the food by the Musu. And the husband is Malcolm. And Musu is the mother-in-law to the get fast happen. Tarista just married Musu's daughter. So yeah. She went into that place. So I got to the place, and I said, what you want to eat? I don't want to eat the feed, but I said, okay, I want to eat potato greens. What are the potato greens? I was playing with the food. He said, well, why didn't you like the soup? I said, the way they cook the food, you know, I'm not pepper. So he said, what pepper soup? Started to go to the back and people drinking. They all started taking photos. So I got you, it was after 8 or 9. We were still having session. I said, but sure, I'm going to go to sleep. I said, you know, sitting in the pillar for almost 2 hours. See, I was dropping here, but they get dark snow. So probably he didn't want me to identify the room, so you're waiting for the people to get dark. How I felt. So he took me to the place called View Park. I still got the address here, came on the phone. I went down the basement. I said, here's your room, you can be here. So I said, but sure, I know where I came from, I know where I've been sleeping. But he bring me in the basement, and still I have to see somebody who have the team of attention. I said, oh man, I remember you got to honest, you know. But tomorrow morning, things will be okay, don't worry. In the basement the first day, in the basement the second day. For that, Fred called me. He said, I guess you're here, bro, everything. I said, I'm doing great. But she said, one Congress are going to come. I said, oh, I'm the Congress. I'm the Congress. I said, why do I call you Congress? He said, because I'm with the United States Department. I'm a legal counsel for the Congress here. I said, oh, that's very good. So the next sheriff came and picked me up, we went on the field. Everybody do that field. And then I bring up for the devil and do the field I'm talking about. I saw physician, I saw people from the NFP that are training, I saw some PhD officers, I identified people from Balance Essay because I'm going Balance Essay. I saw most of the guys. They said, oh, man, welcome. And they wanted to talk to me, but Chef, when I gave them that corridor to talk to me, each of them come close to me, Chef will bring up the discussion. And we started taking photos right there. After taking photo, Chef went into the car. I was laying at the back of the car. I saw him playing with the phone. So I knocked the car. I said, Chef, please do not post my photo. He said, well, I'm not posting any photo, feel free. I'm going to be American. I'm not posting any photo. I just want to, you know, congratulate you. I said, no, do not post my photo. Because within a second, going to tell him 45 minutes, I received series of messages on my phone from Messenger. The first person sent me a message about where. He said, oh, where are you? You're going to be in Atlanta. Who you went there with and you took photo with Rebecca, they got a statement on Facebook. So I opened the phone because I started getting different calls from people within the States. The Garwo family, there are so many in the state, they are close to 65. But I said I want to go there on my own, I will not call them because they know my quality is sent for me. You know what I'm saying? So they started sending information. They said, in the place we can call the guy who talked about the president and talked about Boston, he's taking photo of me. You don't know you're in your lab? So I went to the car and said, that's not shit. I had a serious argument. We went to the area of the shot. So the guys came in, and I believe there's a vision and said, that you use your behavior. That's why I want to talk to them. Anytime I talk to them, they bring discussion up. Anytime I talk to them, they bring discussion up. What's your plan, right? So I started asking me. Call me in the car, he started pet me and thing. I said, oh, man, sorry, I will tell the to put it for them. So when you say you will tell the to put it for them, I understand there was a plea. And you understand that he and the key is in connection. So I decided to remain quiet because I strange area I don't know about it. Coming in the car, we drove to Jersey. I remember on the phone, he said, we're going to an area in Jersey called the Weah. I mean, I remember they have so many Weah there, the Weah too. We went to the place, when we went at the Weah, I got out from the car, I was sitting in the car into my truck, I saw the wet tractor coming. Wet tractor came and parked. I saw water spoon, I identified the group, staying water spoon. I saw Eugene Facon, in a way of gray suit, short trouser gray, and a gray shirt. I saw Weah, I recognized him also from alleges. And I saw two other guys who just probably ready to know the name. So we all greeted each other. I also shook my hand, and he hold my hand for a very long time, like almost 10 seconds. I said, welcome, the story of change. That's the word he used. I couldn't hug me, he knocked me at the back. Saying the story of change. So we got in the car, we left the Weah, went to another place. I forgot to get up this picture. When they call for food, we started to eat. So Chef went in the car and said, oh, I forgot my phone. So Chef went in the car and he took my phone. But he didn't give my phone to me, he had my phone in his hand. So the discussion started. Chef said, well, we already here. You need to tell her what you do. So I put it first in the screen. I'm trying to say, I'm not saying your tune. Hey, brother, I am very well. And this place I can change people's life. You need to tell her exactly what you do. If you don't know anything, the same thing I've been saying, you know, do exactly with our tune. Because one thing I know to say to you people, so what if you're going to do in our country that you know what to tell you? And I mean, not sharing so how you having to? You gotta explain yourself. If you don't say anything, then you gotta find a way to go. I said, share. Are you trying to tell me you leave me in Jersey here? He said, the thing I tell you, what I'm saying, You got to tell us something, or even the thing we're saying, you need to say it. So I said, but let me get my phone. He said, no, you didn't give me my phone. So the argument started there. I said, I'm not going to allow anybody in here, trust me. If you want me to lie on whosoever they can be able to accomplish the mission, no. I came there for a church conference in the train. And the woman I'm married, she's a reverend mother and a prophetess. And I hear from the witness background, my parents are going to other witnesses. So anything I say contrary to my state, it will embarrass me. You say, okay, be talking that you know of. You see, most of your friends, they got kidding. Alice. And I said, let me tell you the truth, brother. I will hear. There was one of those people who helped me. He gave my in-law, give me $10,000 to destroy Samuel 12. You said, things about Samuel 12. So all that spoon and all of that saying that, you're not fooling you, that's something that we do for you. And if I say you got a brother in America, they call Profile. And then they were using when it's kilo man. You know, one drop into Sierra and they gave me additional 10,000, and I came to the States. Even where I live is not in the States. It's Profile the one who's doing almost everything. Not Profile. It's still the one who's doing almost everything for me. If I go give me the picture of this, let me tell you, I live in Tennessee. I think I'm managing another wedding. That's them doing almost everything for me. So you need to say what you need to say. Or we'll tell you how to say it, but you say it. So I lay down in the chair and I start to, understand myself, right, to see how best I can get into the circle. So once we went to the car,
let's start ready. What was the purpose of you saying that trying to get into the circle?
Yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that answer. So once we went into the car, he came bringing the car with a plastic bag in hand and a phone. He brought the phone to me and said, what am I dragging number in? I showed you a dragging number. I said, they decided to put a dragging number in. They had brought for me. So the same car, he put it in the phone that he took for the car. He played with the phone there for almost 2 to 3 minutes before giving me back the link. So when he gave me the phone, we started our conversation. So after he said, you tell him to say, so we started talking. I said, okay. One chair said I should talk something relating to the weapon in the post. You understand? So I said, okay. Just the guy considering the post. And they brought series of equipment that the South City Police had, equipment to my City Police, even National Police, equipment that the area equipped the army. I don't know the people playing the brigade equipment. So he said, hey, did you compose on what? Start our conversation. He said, can you imagine to the extent that he said, when you lie on the IG in the Inspector General Police, and lie on the judge, I said, the judge is afraid of jail. The project to they are afraid. They're also powerful that when you speak, nobody speak. So they start shaking their head and say, so they talk. Still talk about the money. I counted the money, 10,000, close to 25,000. But what gave me afraid that 25,000 money, he didn't take money for it. He placed the hand to his back pocket and took out $1,000 US, 100 more. He gave me $1,000 US after we shook him, he left. He said, how many man? Send the man that the phone already. We can have a conversation. Check. I didn't agree to the check, please. Sorry for what he said to you. Came back. We have to step up already. That is when everybody should get each other hands. Then the greeter body again, Falcon and check started fighting on the 1,000. Using Falcon. He took 300 from there, check took 300, and he gave me 400. And they said, man, all money I'll come here from something. So they get out, look at the man and said, they're close. I went back to the basement, started having conversation. There where I decided to use the elicitation method.
What do you mean by elicitation method?
Elicitation method in intelligence, that what we use is to throw bait and get information. So I start to gather accurate and relevant information that will do notorious propaganda and to develop a clear understanding of the plan. So when they open up, I enter into the circle because I already have clear plan. I enter into the circle and they start to explain. The real brother called me. He said, what? You already here, we'll make you the explain one spoon show. And so the one that stand show you, I say, yes. He said, I'll make it help any other person. And I understand what a spoon is a financial man behind the wall, propaganda. He use people, he send people in error, and when they come in front of him, he bring money out to tell them that he will protect them, he will bring their place, he will do that. They said I'm going to bring your place in Jesse, they'll be doing on until where I'll be paid $500 every week. So then I said to myself, but Sheikh been in the country for 1 year, 6 months before he started talking. And up to President Sheikh Sabah is living in a truck. He registered to Planet Fitness Gym. Planet Fitness Gym is a weather area that in almost all of the states. He only goes to the gym to take back in the term of training. carry clothes to the laundry and wash it, and he stays in your truck. Ellis, when you're bringing to the place here, I saw Ellis get a malnourished. The Ellis man I know. If they in America, your starter not even change. Then how can you think that smaller spoon will change with that? These are things that I ask myself question. So Jimmy Brown called him. He said, you gotta do your letter of resignation. I said, okay. He said, Soko Sago Jail will do your letter and send it to me. I will edit it and send it back to him. And then when it comes to me, I'll send it to you for signature. Then when another argument started. And you look at the letter, the post on Facebook, I got all of the evidence in my phone. You will see my email from Soko Sago to Jerome Verda. After a man read the phone letter and they say, I'm G.A.R. I'm not G.A.R. Echo. The higher person read letter and can sign that letter. Look on Facebook, you see it. So I don't know where they took that letter from. So when he sent the letter to me, the major concern was signing letter. So I put myself into the driver's seat. I said, how can I sign the letter? I got my wife and check it in here. So I went to get another sign for them. He said, look, we send people to your house. We send kilomat, people your wife and care rest of you.
Who is called kilomat?
Kofa. Say some ready to school. What else?
So people think this is part of the story. You want us to continue or we just
Yeah, I mean it's part of the story, man. I think we should just pause and
I think
go
we
ahead
got,
with our
we got
discussion.
we got some pointers here that we can
Mhm.
look at when you come to think about it. So Thomas Garwo comes to the States for a conference and he gets lured here in Philadelphia by Sheikh Sakor. We all know what he said. I know a lot of folks watched the Eugene Fagon
Sure.
show where he kind of broke it down piece by piece. And interestingly, the one that I can't wrap my hand around, the man say he counted almost $25,000 in the Fridays.
Yeah.
When you open that kind of money to count it, the people that in the restaurant won't care.
Yeah, that's far from the truth.
Just think about
yeah.
that though.
Yeah.
So
It's,
Alphonso,
Yep.
what do you make out of this?
So a few things. First of all, Mr. Gao said he was lured. I want to question that word, lured, because he came to attend a convention in
Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia. The convention ended in Atlanta, Georgia. He came on the East Coast to Sheikh Sakor and other people. So he wasn't really lured onto the East Coast. He could have said, no, Sheikh, I'm not coming, and stay in Atlanta and gone back to Liberia. So I don't buy his characterization that he was lured. Here's my thought. I believe once, first of all, before I even go there, I'm sure before he came to America, he must have heard and seen Sheikh Sakor and other people on Spoon talking about, crimes and weapons being brought into the country by, Jefferson Koji and the government, etc. Basically, and in fact, implicating Jefferson Koji in the murder of the justice's daughter. So if you work for Jefferson Koji and Sheikh Sakor, who's been making all of these allegations against you all, invites you to come and meet with him in another state.
Just to add quick,
Yeah.
according to Eugene Fagon,
Mm.
Sheikh is the one who even bought his ticket from Liberia
Okay.
via Air Morocco to America.
Okay.
So they were talking prior to his coming. He even mentioned that.
yeah.
No, what he said was Sheikh got to know he was here when he posted on Facebook on social
Which
media.
is wrong.
Which,
Because
That's
he was-
wrong. Yeah.
might not
They
be.
started talking
Yeah.
when he was in Monrovia.
On his
Okay.
way home to Barnesville,
Yeah.
they talked to him.
Mhm.
So you see, he's just all over the place.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what's striking before you continue? The
Yeah.
man say he has 18 years,
Mhm.
and he was one of the brightest in his class with security intelligence. 18 years he moved to the rank, so no one can fool him.
Mm.
How you can let men of Sheikh fool you and bring you there and put you in the basement?
Yeah. And then let's go to the basement. He said View Park. Well,
It's
let's
Parkview.
talk about Derby. He must be talking about Parkview.
Parkview.
The Parkview, yeah.
There's no view parking, Darby. No, the complex in Darby
But
is
he says he has the address, so it will say Parkview. It won't say.
Yes.
A park view in
it's
Northern
not
View
view
Park.
park. There's Park View. Now the Park View that I know also doesn't have basements. Park View is an apartment complex that has
Complex, yeah.
apartments. It's not a house that has a basement where you can sleep in the basement. No, Park View does not have basements. I've been to Park View. I've visited people in Park View. I had a friend who lived in Park View, and I visited him. So I know Park View is just series of apartments because it's an apartment complex. So it doesn't really have business. It's not townhomes. So it doesn't have basement. So it must have been some.
Except he meant the apartment on the lower level, which
Yes.
is like some of them you go down and then
Mhm.
they're on the basement level.
Yes, but he said he was sleeping in someone's
Basement.
apartment basement. So that wouldn't be, that would just be the apartment. It wouldn't be a basement of the apartment if it's the apartment in the on the basement level. So yes, so there's a lot of conflicts and stuff. I mean, here's what I believe. I believe he wanted to stay in America, and he provided the information he provided in the hope that these guys will help him. However, I believe there was pressure on him from back home, from his family. I believe also the things he expected to get from these guys here, he didn't see his way clear. He didn't see his way clear. He didn't see. He knew it would take a lot of. He saw Shake sleeping in his truck. He saw the other guy, the guy Manor. He saw the other guy. He and the people allegedly dividing money. He said, "Damn, I can't make it here. I'd rather go back and concoct a story for my people to accept me." Now, I really do fear for him.
We'll come to that. I
Yeah.
thought about it. We'll come to that.
Okay.
Let's hear from Moses quick. Moses, pay attention.
Yeah.
Your time.
Yeah. My take on this is two ways. The first, I listened to a
But
couple of the
just before you
tapes.
continue quick, let me just remind
Yeah.
folks the number is now posted 404-272-2808, 404-272-2808. Call if you like to join the
Okay.
conversation.
Mhm.
Continue, Moses.
So the first thing, I listened to a couple of tapes, and one of the tapes I heard him communicating with Jefferson Koji. He called Sakor. While Sakor was communicating with him, Koji was also on that line, and he recorded the tape and sent that to Koji. And after the conversation with Sakor, he told Koji, he said, "Hey, Chief, that's Sheikh Sakor, the former Minister of Internal Affairs, his son." And I heard him say that. So I'm thinking to myself that his coming to the United States could have been a ploy, but because the allegation that emanated from Congresswoman, Councillor Jerome Verdio, which is very, very damaging to Mr. Koji. That could have been part of the strategy that, hey, we're going to send you to the United States. When you go, you declare yourself indigent. Reach out to Councillor Verdia, reach out to Waterspoon and the others, because they've been accusing Waterspoon there. So when he came to the United States, Mr. Spoon said this guy came. He said he really wanted to talk to him. And the first thing he said was he was struggling financially back home and he needed help. When I listened to Waterspoon on one of the podcasts. So he wanted help. And Waterspoon told him that he couldn't help him. He never had money, but he could put him in touch with others. That was how Sheikh Sakor and Eugene Nangbe, I shouldn't say Nangbe, but Eugene Fagon and the others were able to raise some money and give it to him. Okay? That's one side of the story. And now another side of the story, in order to gain the support of these guys, he provided a lot of damaging information about the very Jefferson Koji. And some of the things he said is very difficult for anyone to dispute. First, he said the Minister of Justice is a friend of Jefferson Koji. That's public information. Everyone of us know that, Volcano, that this young man is very powerful in the country. Most of the senior guys in the government, they are even afraid to talk to him because of his closeness to the president. So that's true. In one of the tapes, he also accused the president of sleeping with young women. Of course, the party chairman himself said that before. So that's information that's in the public. He can't come and tell us that someone coerced him to say that. And then he came to say, hey, the arms and ammunition uh, that the police, the consignment of ammunition that the police confiscated at the Freeport
You don't want to say
was
arrest
brought
that. You don't
in
want to say
by,
arrest that, so you say
yeah. And,
Sorry.
the consignment was brought in by the Monrovia City Police. The Monrovia City Police has more support than the police. That is also public information. We all know that the police is unsupported. So for him to come and say all this thing, and now he goes back to Liberia, I think he endangers his own safety. Jefferson Koji not going to trust him anymore.
So let's
He
move on.
said a lot of damaging things about Jefferson Koji.
Let's move on. As
So,
I look
yeah.
at this young man quick, I
Yeah.
saw MMD Flanzameton. Who remember MMD Flanzameton?
Yes, I do remember.
We
He
hear
was
me
young man, yeah.
Okay, people. He won't call me. You remember?
Yeah, Jefferson Koji. No, Flans Hamilton said he wanted to read something, right?
Yeah, I want to see him behind his back, behind a piece of paper, but he couldn't get to see well. The way he jumping all over the place. But
Yeah, so the man got information all over the
as he
place,
was talking, I just kind of had a flashback of MMD Flanzameton.
Yeah.
And one brother, I'm afraid for this young man.
Yeah, his safety is in danger.
He thinks that Arthur Johnson can create a barbed wire around him because they're looking for legal,
Yeah.
reasons to make a case.
Yeah.
So, Alphonso, quickly, a meaning.
No, exactly what you were saying. I think he said,
Yeah.
He said so many damning things
About the government.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to trust him to be within your circles.
No.
And mind you, he said he was suspended for time indefinite even before he came, right? So, and he might just be trying to buy favor to get his job back. But I don't think they're going to trust him.
Yeah.
No, he just the suspension thing was a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was suspended a while ago and they reinstated him.
Instead of him.
Oh, okay.
So he was just referencing April 9th.
Yeah.
It did in his life. He got married on April 9th. Got the visa, which of course he lied. He didn't get the visa on April 9th. He got the visa in March. In March, because Eugene Fagon showed his entire visa.
Okay.
That shows, I think it was March 16th or so, but
Okay.
it was in March. Did he amplify the date so that he would have gotten money from Jefferson to show the sense of urgency? Probably he did that. Just so that Jefferson could say, oh, this man's visa will soon expire. Let's try to get him out of here. But overall, I think he's playing with. I mean, just imagine regular people getting missing and getting killed. Who didn't do anything though? It was just alleged that these people had critical or credible documents, financial documents, like the Yinswa, the Albert Peters, the Gifty, Lama, and all those people had credible financial audit documents. The other guy who was killed said he saw Weah in a compromise, meaning the police officer who they claim shot himself 3 times.
Yeah.
All the people they ain't talking nothing. Like, you the one here talking plenty. Then you think your life is safe?
Safe. And Volcano, right? The very young man, he made reference even to the situation with the former Chief Justice. He said it was 2 o'clock in the morning when Jefferson Koji called him. He said, oh, my man, come. He said, oh, but Chief, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. He said, but am I not your mayor? And that's how come they were able to get a Cllr that morning, according to him, according to Waterspoon. The information is all out there. So he goes back to Monrovia. Now he's trying to find a way in the mainstream of Mayor Koji. But how do you go out and say all these damaging thing about me and you want to be my friend now? his safety is very in danger. You know,
But
safety is in danger.
he's playing with fire because right now the way things are in Liberia, you can't take any chance, and especially the way that he has, like you said, some of the things he said, it was just a reverberation of what the truth is, or what
Yeah, everybody
trending out
knows. Yeah,
regarding what's in the public, space. However, it's coming from him being a security man who claims to have been more intelligent, uh, grown up through the ranks and file, 18
and
years.
closer to the power.
Yeah, and
You know.
you coming and seeing this. Let people speculate. Let people say what they say.
Yeah.
Ordinary people, but not you, as the director of security operations at the Monrovia City
Yeah.
Corporation, where your boss back is against the wall, for alleged murder. Because
Yeah.
masterminder is the same as the murderer.
Of course. Because,
So think about it from that perspective.
yeah. He rather put his safety and the safety of his family in danger. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I mean, given the way people are getting missing in our country, I mean, I don't wish him evil, and I don't think the issue wrong
No, 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 no.
intends to wishing
But
evil,
you can't
but
use that.
his safety,
But,
his
but you
safety is
can't
very,
use
very
that.
in danger.
Use the word wish. We're not. Yeah, you can't use it.
Yeah,
Mention the issues from
yeah. I'm just saying something.
No.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
analyzing the situation, and we hope that you know what we're doing will throw light on
yeah,
his safety,
Mhm.
that he wouldn't
Yeah.
be
Yeah. I
taking
also
advantage.
think the other guys too. I mean, the Sheikh Cycle, the Fangon, the Stanton, the Vertier. I don't know why. I mean, I guess they wanted to, confirm whatever information they already had. But I also think that they were not very tactful enough in terms of their interaction with him as well. As you said, Stan, I didn't listen to those tapes, but
mhm.
Volcano, as you said, Moses, you said it. He recorded Sheg on the phone as he
Yeah.
was
Recording it. Yeah,
talking,
send it to.
send the tape back and all of that. Who
Yeah,
knows how many other recordings he might
yeah.
have done as well. So I think those guys should have also been a little
But
more careful
but
also.
This is
look from the from
this
the
is
from
gotta be.
yeah.
All right, so listen. Um, I know you wanted to come on with a continuation so you can use that into whatever.
What type of country is this?
But
Yeah, it's okay.
every day is something new, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Every day is something new. We'll wake up tomorrow to something new.
Okay.
Perhaps nothing is a funny guy. He says, yeah, Stanton talk more than him, so he had to go back and Eugene Muff can run more than him. Also. uh,
Yeah, I think I may be wrong, but I think uh, Mr. Waterspoon, Eugene, and the others, I think they had good intention. They
in what
had good intention.
what we
When I
agree.
say they had good intention, was that the man reached out to them as being indigent, that he needed help, to adjust his status.
But what if? But
All this,
what if they concocted the story as well?
yeah. I mean, I'm just that's one side. I'm just
Yeah,
reading into it that way.
Yeah,
And
but
there could also be other things that maybe people had their own intentions and all of that. But what?
because if the man's presence in America
Mhm.
put him at a disadvantage because he carried a lot of powerful news considering the Jefferson Koji and his proximity to Jefferson Koji. So anything coming, anyone wanting to get information regarding Jefferson Koji, he was a perfect conduit. So I don't know if he came across as indigent, so
That's the message that we got.
that message came from one side of the coin.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, let's not. I think the balance here is that this guy is a medium through which a lot of folks can get some very damning information regarding Jefferson Koji and his activities in Liberia. And I thought that was an opportunity, a perfect opportunity, where all of them collided. But what did Eugene and the rest get? What did he get? I think we must look at what happens to him. I'm afraid for him rather than I'm afraid for the Spoon and the Eugene and those guys, because he's the one who is now in Liberia.
Yeah, and Volcano, do you even know that this guy had the audacity to share a video with Jefferson Koji having intercourse with a female at the Monrovia City Hall with Waterspoon and the others? And he talks about he was being lured. What are you talking about? Did anyone coerce him to come to Philadelphia?
Did they run the video?
Oh, that's too graphic. The
No,
guys chose not to run that, but they made mention of it on Spoon Talk.
So okay. So what did it say?
Yeah, but they chose not to. And even I myself, as a career journalist, I would not run such a video on a podcast. No.
No, nobody's saying you should run the video, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that hopefully they have it and it's an evidence. But
the guys are saying that they had 30.
But that's what I'm saying. And so you not agree with me that the guy is the medium through which
he's a medium, yeah.
Through which they can gain a lot of information from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a two-way street here. But let's go to what type of country is this? We are going to spend at least another 10 minutes on this segment, so we should be out of here by at least 8:45. So Alphonso, what you got on your end there?
Yeah, Alphonso start to know.
What type of country is this that is Johnny Cochran?
So the laborious Johnny Cochran.
The Johnny Cochran of Liberia can't even put one small logic together.
That the kissing people, Johnny Cochran.
He's just speaking kissy on level.
And then suddenly they're speaking kissy, he says speaking English.
So what type of country is this? When a woman say, I saw his eyes and I kept me sprayed, the Johnny Cochran of our time, like Arthur Johnson says, you saw his face.
Yes, you know the man.
You knew him. That's in the context of logic. You saw him, man.
You can identify the man. What type of country is
this? How do we know whether the woman can see his face, his full face? But yeah, what type of country is this that the lawyer, who's supposed to be the top lawyer, who's supposed to do a lot of research, a lot of logic, a lot of reasoning, claims that because the woman pepper sprayed the man in the eyeball, then you saw the man. What type of country?
Is this? She know the man. Your friend, a woman, she know the man. She pepper sprayed the man. She must know him. Oh.
What type of country is there when a man will say he's the best candidate in the country? his party calls for a convention in a room that accommodates less than 50 persons.
My man,
Whatever country is it?
I bring it. I bring it, Joseph.
Just a country we gave it to them.
No. Let me do my own due diligence.
Whatever country is it?
Hold on. Joseph Conto gave his reporter to you. He says that, Mr. Sandy, I have been forced to call on the show because nearly everything you say on the show is always in the negatives. Mr. Sandy, you have investigated before saying, or he meant to say you have to investigate before saying what you are saying. First of all, there were two separate conventions ongoing in Ganta today. The LP and the ANC had separate conventions. In addition, only the party leaderships, delegates, and legislative aspirants that were required to attend the convention today. This was an open forum. Tomorrow will be D-Day. So, Andy, stop that.
So let me come to my defense.
This convention was only for a certain number of people, not the whole.
So, let me tell
Mostly, how many people you saw? So the other legislative aspiring, other people didn't reach 50.
I watched a video about when the room could accommodate less than 50%. And this video was put out there by the general, the ANC chief communication person, communication through the people under the boss.
So maybe that video was just the ANC convention, not the LP.
Mr. Comey was in the tenant.
He was there.
Of course, he was.
All right, let's go to whatever country is this. Whatever country
is this?
Ram Snowden. Is that Congress won in the U.S. and the root medicine in Liberia.
Whatever country is this?
Congress won. I like the man name. The biggest he the legal counsel for American Congress. Can you imagine that nonsense?
He did a law been in Liberia.
What type of country is this? Adia Umu. When a counselor does not respect his client's confidentiality,
absolutely,
after the documents as decoration.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Whatever country is this? Ram Snowden, Cummings offered Bromskin's daughter popcorn to be his running mate.
Whatever country is this? Whatever country is it?
So the man scatters all the client's records across.
Yeah, so all over the place.
Powerful. No, so he can look powerful. So he can look
powerful.
But then that's why we say this man need further training. You don't treat client records like that, man.
What type of country is this? Shaggy McCaffrey hashtag that city policy. Oh, he meant to say city police chief who is security minded can mess up like that and knowingly put his and his family lives in danger.
Yes.
What type of country is this? He's policeman.
Yeah. What type of country is this that we have more lawyers than any other professional in the country?
Everybody goes to law.
Because everywhere you turn to, man, I'm a lawyer.
Well, sorry, Greg.
What type of country is this where police director come to America, spills the beans, go back and have a press conference?
Yeah, what type of country is this?
And still talking.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And he putting offshore.
Yeah. What type of country is this that a man comes with 25G and sits in a Ruby Friday or whatever and checks it right in the public?
Yeah, what type of country is this?
Checking money. The man say check 25G. What type of country is this?
But forget it, let's put on our thinking caveat, right? Is that doable in today's America?
I wouldn't say I will not say
it's not doable.
No, I wouldn't say it's impossible though, because I mean
Alphonso.
Open restaurant, take her to
Alphonso.
It might not be it might not be an open restaurant. You go in a restaurant, you go to TGI Friday. TGI Friday has different tables and seats and chairs. That you
The way the
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But even with that, you are on camera.
I just want
Do
to
you
know.
know that?
I want to know what tape they left after counting.
Yeah.
I know.
You are on camera. The first thing I was tell out to the people in the restaurant with people, where did this money come from?
Yeah, that they they're trying to cross or do
Yeah, $25,000. You open plastic bag.
Then stop. Not only that, they're black men.
Yes, black
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I was
The
telling out.
The connotation would be they're doing drug money. or
They're
something.
doing drugs, yeah, you know. Right away, my man, somebody will call 911, my man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So
Now,
the
I
city
didn't-
police director is in the
Oh,
wrong.
and especially making with white convertible
convertible.
Yeah,
top down or
yeah.
top or whatever or make
Mhm.
them on. These guys
And then on the table, you see all Africans. You know the connotation of that already.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what it means?
What type of country is this? Wait. Otherwise, he says, "Oh, okay, we're done with that." Ram Snowden says here, "What type of country is this? Tomorrow Cummings might fall off and seem
Yeah, no. So they say you get a VP.
Yeah, I will cross everybody tomorrow.
You get a regular job we are tomorrow.
We'll cross everybody tomorrow. Oh God!
That's why they name the man. He said, "Job, we are coming for you."
That dog.
You don't know your dad.
Oh my God, that guy, man. You need to revise that a little bit.
No, but I mean, Yeke could be a credible vice president. Oh.
That would be a very good VP for Alexander coming. The way he shove him, man. You guy was just stay home. You said, "My man, you forget we spotted here."
My man, don't tell me not to know. Oh
You
God!
guy was look at coming. He said, "My man, I'm telling you, just come on in one more time." You must say we
Oh,
spotted
my
right here. I was scared of you of you running and coming there. He said, "No, that the president." He said, "No, that man, you always tweeted here to me." You bring that Congo thing we spotted right now.
Oh God!
The guy was a jellyfish. He said, "Hey, Chief, come now." He said, "No." I can't come now. They made all the time. Every time we kind of be picking on me. Look at his short set.
You
What's that?
you
You're
know
looking for trouble. Joseph Gordon can't get you.
Yaga will say, you know that district number 10 for you now.
He said, "My man, you in different hotel." He said, "Just try me here." He said, "Oh, my man, you know, I got my vest under my coat. Oh. I'm going to fight."
If you play with me, I will move on you.
The security people will be running here and there. Say, "My man, let somebody touch me. You always see what will happen. Your babu will defy."
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
Come
my
here and
God.
say, "But what did I do?"
So now you must be serious.
Look at him. He's being serious.
He said, "What did I do?" He said, "My man, yeah, I'm not saying man, I speak the American man, just bring it with the father, right?"
There you go.
You go. But after job, we are no trouble will be over. Job, we will be celebrating. He said, "I told you, but I'm here, but come again here when you took the metal BSC." They said, oh, Judge. He said, oh, you know what happened to the other man? So he said, wow. He said, now you again coming. So he said, but I told you about that man. That coming again, let's see no people. Then you can't give it to him.
Oh God.
They said, Chila, go home now. He said, no, we can't go.
Nobody go.
And then myself was spotted.
With chocolate here today.
Yeah, with chocolate. Jiva protocol be kind. Chief kind. He said, no. If I hold my coat. Whatever country is there, whatever our president wants to fight the president.
Oh God.
What type of country is this, Thomas? I watch you where the Monrovia City TV network only broadcasts when the mayor or CDC is having an event. What type of country is this?
What type of country is this?
You can say when he go Ghana,
Yeah.
he turns, his gas slip and pay must drop. He won't do it.
What type of country is this, my man?
Oh God.
Yeah, my man. You can say, oh, I know my beamer drop. What I tell you doing there, you give me check the other day. I went to check bounce. They'll try me in the place again.
The representative check bounce in the bank.
They made check bounce.
Hey man.
They paid
Yeah,
the man
man,
went to
that's-
Central Bank, but man, the check bounce on you.
My man, I real bound. I remember.
Because see, I tell you, the people. Can you imagine lawmaker and king? My check bounce.
I can imagine you get one day being speaker and how you go after the man.
You may you can speak out shit.
You hold some people pay. You will
Oh
hold-
yeah. So you disagree with the man. You say, my man, stand up, stand up.
Get outside. You're putting outside.
Yeah, you say, honorable. I said, my man, stand up. You bring that thing here with spotted right here. Oh, that because speaker. Oh.
Oh man, let's
But that time Chima will not be no speaker, you will be ordinary man. So when they're in the house, when Chima raises his hand, you say, my man, you sit down, man.
You bad boy
You
we
finna forget it. You bad boy to we are. Yo, you punished me for 6 years. I know as speaker, you will never speak in the meeting.
You're never speaking in this chamber here. You're not saying nothing.
and you were not even for the bill.
Yeah.
He said, my man, unless I'm not speaking, that's the other way. You finna forget it.
By starting your arm, stand rest out of that man.
You know,
Oh,
it's the
God,
same
Lord.
question that you youngly asked Mr. Covey, you know, he went banking. He said, hey, youngly, you got to help. So youngly asked him, Mr. Covey, he said, yes, Madam Senator. Do you remember what you did to me? He said, what did I do? She said, no, go and think about it.
And come back tomorrow when you remember coming.
Go think about it, Mr. Comey.
Where Joseph control, let him come to
I'm starting. What type of country is this? Only Colasco can interview the president.
The man is taking the place of the press secretary.
But you even hear about the press secretary, in fact.
Yeah. But what type of country is there where the president travel, he turns to his own photographer? The man do his own savio.
But Edda said that the man not in the picture with the other head of state because he was taking their picture.
Yeah, you are taking a man in picture. You say, I will take it. You are lying now.
Yeah,
That
go
no,
ahead.
me picture the boy now going to pull out there. When he left, he said, oh, they're after a man and saw him. I said, but Chief, you're not in the picture. He said, no man, no people.
Volcano, what were the question that Omen Boyga asked Ellen when she said protect me?
Yeah. Volcano, go ahead.
I mean, 1 minute. Let me put this in. Shaggy McAfee. What type of country is this that everybody wanted to be a VP, but once Joseph Boyga picks his VP, now no one wants to become his VP? What type of country is this where nobody wants to be ANC VP?
Mr. Comey is running around.
No, but I think that's better be I can call about.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yaka will be a good pick, but it's just that he should stand by.
If I say pay, you must stand out.
No disagreement. There's a disagreement in the marshal. Forget it.
Vice President slapped the president today.
He said, "My man, you and myself will offer it today." So they said, "So what is going on?" He said, "No, you're leader, man."
But you think Yaga was some of the men to the capital? Hey, Yaga's supposed to be an officer.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the president of the Senate.
Yeah, somebody
become VP, he said, man. They go for cabinet meeting and then they disagree on something, and then you see Yaka rolling his sleeves. They say, "You happy?" He said, "No, I'm man. We spotted here today."
Oh God.
They say, "You why you was spotted?" Say, "Yeah, you're leader, man." I tired with it here. Yeah, guys, this is very therapeutic, man.
So Ellen asked the woman, she said, "So you'll protect me?" Woman said, "Why?" So you actually know. Forget it.
The puppy said, "Elio,
what you did, mama?
What did you do?" He said, "Oh, okay, it's okay." He said, "No, but I see you running every time you run, you look behind you." But running behind you, nothing I can protect you from. You tell me, what did you do?
Oh God.
So that one was better. Oh my God, into all her little saving. She got all the candidates out there to fight the old man, my man.
Kind of see why Mark Shaggy say?
Yeah. Trafficking and all refusing.
Trafficking refusing comment. That the young woman Charlene now won't get in trouble though. The man who say he's the most qualified presidential candidate. Everybody running away from him.
But they asked this young man about Paris Momolo.
Yeah.
Want to go as VP?
Yeah.
He's the winner too. He said he won't be VP. He won't be president.
But man, a comment's name has become toxic. And so they call her name, the person said, "What, my man? I want winning ticket."
That what your Marco said. He said he didn't join them because he said that real people want for guys.
Yes, winning ticket. I want back. I can't gamble all my money.
All right, gentlemen, 1 minute around the room. Let's wrap up. It's almost 9 o'clock. Let's hear from you, Alphonso.
Yeah, guys. You all know by now. It's always great being with you. The intellect, the insight, the logical conclusions, not the illogical ones from our Johnny Cochran. That's great insight.
The kissy lawyer, eh?
Yeah. I don't know why he represented woman, but I got great insight, guys. Look forward to see you all again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Look, I just want to say this was indeed a great show. And let me tell my kissy brother, Councillor Johnson, look, Councillor, you blunder big time, man. You drew your credibility into question. Yeah, the legal profession is a respectable profession, man. You can't do that. You stoop too low. Wow. And you call yourself the Johnny Cochran today? That's a disappointment. Yeah, and that's how I would like to wrap it there. Look, but to wrap it up quickly, it was indeed a great show. And out of our people who are there, and we come here, we make fun, not because we hate anybody. Mr. Common is our friend. We just want him, like any other political candidate or presidential hopeful, to really get his house in order. We don't hate him. No, we just making fun here. This is what the issues room is about. We make a lot of fun. Volcano, it was a pleasure. Alfonso, it was great being here with you guys. Yeah.
Thank you. Let me let go of you so I can recognize some folks. I know you want to rush out.
Yeah.
We'll just
Yeah.
let you guys go now.
Good.
While I do the recognition quick.
Mhm.
So, but again, I want to thank all of you for being here with us. Adiaha Omo, thank you for joining us here tonight. Ram Snotton, Shaggy McCaffey, Thomas Awaji, as usual. Always good to see you, my brother. It was just one of those conversations that we must keep. I'd like to welcome and say thank you for joining us here tonight. Diagwe Zulu, it was good seeing you in the house. Looks like your first time. Come back again. For you, of course, Flomo Livingston, thank you for being here with us tonight. Godwin Weah, it was good having you again, my brother. Good to see you tonight. Agnes Finda Samukai, it was good seeing you as well. Make this platform one of the places to come and have fun. Mapu Hall, of course, good seeing you, Mapu. Joseph Conto, Jesse Fagon, try to run down the list quick and see some of the folks here. Fergie Moyu, I did say, Memory Lane. It was good seeing you as well. Maria Goddell, all of you wonderful folks who joined us here tonight, we say thank you for being a part of the Issues Room 152nd edition. We'll be back here on Friday with our 153rd edition. Until then, we say thank you for joining us. My name is Volcano Shelton. On behalf of the team, thank you to all of you who spend the night with us. Good night.